Roger, copy.
Cool. PM everybody. Happy Thursday. Last week of March here. Yeah, we don't have any invited guests here this week. But we do have a project proposal for the project V7 changes, and we'll also have our roundtable project updates after that. But I don't know, Michi, do you want to hop up here and do projects V7? Hey, GM.
Oh, hey, I was muted there. How's it going?
Hey, good.
1 second here. Let me share my screen.
Cool.
Oh, they updated it. Discord's all new now.
Yeah, it looks different.
Okay, well, let's see if this works. Okay, you see my screen?
Yep, see mooned out. Yep.
Cool. Okay, so this is the proposal. Actually, what I'll do here is just bring up this link in split screen so we can kind of go through both in tandem. Here we go. So, yeah, this proposal is basically just to make a few updates to the proposal system. Mostly, it's just to simplify things and update the documentation to match some of our more current practices. We've just found like more efficient, better ways of doing things, and this is just to make sure that's all reflected in the docs. So I'll just jump through these problems here. First off, we've updated the reporting and submission process. So that now is found here. We've updated the link, and I just kind of restructured the way that it's formatted in this paragraph to make it a little clearer. So at the end here, you can see you can submit your proposal here, and then we have a link directly to the proposal page. So that one's pretty straightforward. Project leads are noted as responsible for multi-sig creation. However, with the new system, that's not the case anymore. Basically, those are automatically set up or just handled like set up by the executive branch if necessary. So we basically just removed that note here about what multi-sig creation, we've removed it as a responsibility of the project lead. So that one as well is just basically a simplification of this and makes things easier for everyone. Another thing is that the way that this is written basically implies that in the final report, the coordinate must be used for teams that are larger than like 3 or 4 people. However, in practice, we usually just leave that up to the project lead and leave it up to the team to decide amongst themselves the way in which they want to distribute their rewards internally. And so we've updated this. Where am I here? I'm out of place. Yes, here it is. So basically what we've done is we've kept the link to coordinate in there, and we still encourage people to use it, but just removed a lot of like the details here that really don't need to be there. This makes it sound like it's a must, like it's a mandatory thing, and really it's optional. But yeah, we would still like to encourage people to use coordinate when it makes sense. This is the only change that is different than how we are currently doing things. So with ETH rewards, we change it here from the last day of the quarter to the first day of the quarter. And the reason is that this is going to make projection of the potential rewards a lot easier. It's going to make a lot more sense to communicate that too. Like at the beginning or in the middle of the quarter, we can say, hey, get your your community contributions in. There's X amount in the reward pool this quarter. And I think that's like a much larger incentive than just saying, hey, you'll get whatever percent of whatever is in the treasury on some future date. That doesn't, people can't do that math, or they don't want to do that math. And it just will make things a lot clearer, like from the very beginning. So that's the only real like operational change here. And it's just that one word. This one as well, there's no standard asset for project salary payment. So this is, again, something we've been informally, like we've been doing on more recent proposals, is just making sure that the MVPs or the salary, any like payment that's going to a person as salary on that project is expressed in ETH. And that just makes it a lot easier to do the math when it comes to retroactive rewards, because those amounts are subtracted from their potential rewards in that cycle. And so we've just made it like black and white here. Those payments need to be expressed in ETH. However, that doesn't mean that people can't get their salary in stables. They definitely can. It's just they need to first receive it in the project in ETH, and probably with like some flex budget to measure as a measure against potential slippage. But then they can be converted into stables and then streamed out or paid out. So that's another change here, something that we basically have already been doing, but we're just making it official. Citizens control project reward distribution. However, in practice, it's both citizens and MOONEY holders. So this is again just a one-line change, where before we were saying citizens are presented with projects, but really it's citizens and all MOONEY holders. And that was the case last quarter. That will be the case again moving forward this quarter. And so that's just like a one-word change here, and I think somewhere down here at the bottom as well, just to include MOONEY holders. And the last one here is that before we had a reference to a script that was used for doing the iterative normalization process, which is just like one part of the retroactives calculation process. However, Jade has done some incredible work to streamline a lot of that process far beyond just the iterative normalization. Now we have two scripts, one that calculates the project rewards and another one that then calculates the actual contributor rewards while calculating in the community circle. And so those are now referenced here instead, those two scripts. I did put a note here though that, and basically the solution or the solutions here I don't need to go through. It's just a mirror of the problems, but just like the inverse. The only thing I want to note here is this. So right now we do have those two scripts, and I think they're open. They're out there on GitHub. Anyone who has any experience with GitHub or whatever can go in and take our results and run them for themselves. However, I just don't think it's like fully user-friendly enough for anyone who doesn't have some technical skill to go in and verify that. So the objective here is, one of our objectives beyond just updating this is to also make a, and I'm going to have to update this. It should say objective number 2. Sorry, so I'll update that immediately after this presentation. But the basically, we're going to instantiate a landing page where almost anyone in the community can take the packaged information that we present, that we publish about the reward cycle, upload it, and then make sure that it verify for themselves that they actually do get the correct results. So That's just going to be handled by the executive branch. This isn't going in as a proposal. That's just something that we're planning to have done by the end of the quarter. And yeah, that's basically the full outline of all of these changes.
Cool. Thank you, Mitchie. Yeah, some pretty straightforward. Yeah, Pablo had a full question here just on the dates. So it'll be 1st of January, 1st of April, 1st of July, and 1st of October, I guess, for each of the quarter dates. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep. First of the quarter.
Cool. Obviously, if anyone has any questions, senators or whoever in the audience, feel free to hop up here. I guess then this will go up for what, a 10-day vote since it's for the project system. Is that right?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I think we can. I'll have to double check in the Constitution just to be sure that we updated like that's in there. But yeah.
Okay. Well,
if that's the case, then it'll be a 10-day vote. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Days for Constitution, not for projects. Okay. Cool.
Right.
Well, if there are no more questions here, we can put up. I'm putting up a link here to the temperature check vote for all the senators to give it a thumbs up, thumbs down as to whether it should go up to snapshot. MDP 175 here.
What's our quorum again? We're at 5.
Yeah, how many are we? We're 8 people. I think we need six votes.
Cool. Looks like it passed then.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Mitchie. Anything else you want to add there?
Worries. No, that's it for now.
Awesome. All right, then I guess we will switch gears into roundtable project updates. Take it in whichever order folks want to go. Eiman, it's been a little bit. I don't know if you're available. Hey, how's it going?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Let me see what output is. Okay, how are you all doing today?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Yeah, sorry I've been out of pocket. It's just been pretty busy but cool with working at Blue Origin. As you guys saw, they announced the next flight date today. I don't know if people saw that, but April 14th. So I've been out of pocket because we've been busy doing mission simulations and things like that in preparation. I will be serving as like a Capcom shadow. I'm learning to do Capcom. So this is one of the instances where I will be there with my colleague who does Capcom and learning that process. So when those simulations happen, there's really nothing else I can do. And it's not possible to hop on another call, but things are going well. I think as far as the documentary is going, we got a rough draft, or a pretty actually fine draft, I guess I would say, yesterday, that I know Pablo and you, Ryan, have seen. I think it clocked in at about 13 minutes, but all in all, went well, discussing kind of, the thing is always not about like going to space. It's about the why of going to space and like, what are you going to do with that afterwards? Because the flight in of itself is 10 minutes long, right? So you go up, you come back. Hopefully one day we'll all be able to go orbital and the flight will be much longer than 10 minutes. But for now, really, that's the most accessible thing for us. And so part of what I did afterwards was reach out to the local high school system here, which is my public high school system that I went to, and ended up going and speaking at a number of schools, and we videotaped it, talking about just like trying to inspire these kids to follow their passions, chase dreams, and kind of giving them some straightforward ideas or plans on how to do that. So the documentary is done. We have to discuss if we're going to make any changes or request any changes to be made. And then the next question becomes, where do we get more eyes on it? And that's something we're open to from a community standpoint, getting input. We'd like to do more than just put it out there on social media. It'd be nice to like have some other way to at least distribute it or get it out there. So that is our next step in trying to figure out what to do with it. And that's pretty much the update I have on that. Other talks I'm giving and such, I'm going to be giving a talk at the 150-year anniversary of Vanderbilt University Med School next Friday. Similar kind of story. It's about taking action, following your passions beyond your day job. And then I'm giving the commencement speech at my old high school in May. So that'll be pretty exciting and kind of just a segue from my flight, right? All of this is because of the flight that this community sponsored.
Awesome. Thanks, Eiman. Yeah, the documentary, the recent cut that we saw, I guess yesterday or the day before that, looks really cool, super inspiring, really cool to see out there in the community with the local kids and high schools and all that. Super cool. And yeah, also really exciting about Amanda's upcoming flight and the NS-31 mission. Definitely gonna be watching that.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to be, participating in.
Yeah, definitely really cool. But cool. Yeah, looking forward to getting that documentary out to the community here. Hopefully we can figure out the best way to do that. And I guess we do are trying to get a follow-up meeting with the documentary crew on the books for next week, hopefully, but we'll see. Cool. I guess, yeah, next up, we're missing a few people here, but yeah, Pablo, do you want to hop up for Launchpad and token management?
Sure. Hey everyone. Cool. So, all right. I'll start with the Launchpad and token management stuff, and then I'll give another cool update that's been going on here in the background. So, yeah, let's see. With the Launchpad, we are closing in on like a full end-to-end implementation. So, Jay's been doing some really great work on configuring Juicebox such that you can receive redemption if the Launchpad project doesn't raise the amount that they're hoping to raise. So there's automatic redemptions. There's now a vesting schedule for the team after they create it, and yeah, basically all of the cycles are there and configured. And we've got a UI that Colin's been working on that can help teams basically go end to end from ideating on a project to receiving funding and moving that forward. So yeah, really exciting to see it all kind of come together. On the token management end, the biggest update is basically we've gone into the centralized exchanges, MEXC in particular, and have removed the assets that we had on that centralized exchange. So we're moving more towards kind of like a DEX strategy and adding liquidity there, and stopping kind of support of the centralized exchanges. I think it makes a ton of sense, and we have a lot more visibility, transparency, and kind of control when it comes to how Moondao approaches liquidity on DEXs versus on centralized exchanges. So that's good. And yeah, you'll see that there's some funds that came into the Treasury earlier today from that. So yeah, and then also in the I was doing some traveling this week, so pretty exciting initiative going on. So there's a group out of the Advanced Physics Laboratory, John Hopkins. So it's called LOGIC, stands for Lunar Operating Guidelines for Infrastructure Consortium, and they basically work on helping companies develop standards to interoperate on the lunar surface. And this is a program that's come out of some support from DARPA with Michael Nyack. Orbit is this call sign. And we've been Moondao created a proposal to get funding from a program that was adjacent to this called Luna 10, a while back. and then from there, it's kind of evolved there's basically an initiative that went on there to kind of create a blockchain-based simulator so that companies can work with one another and start to kind of come to consensus on how they uh, you know the standards that they'd be using, and that kind of started to take shape, and we started to even add a little bit of the financial infrastructure that MoonDAO's been working on, and so that's kind of evolved into a follow-on grant. So I was there in DC just this week, and working with some of the folks out of APL and DARPA, and kind of defining those deliverables. So yeah, it's coming together, and I think it's really exciting because it's essentially taking a lot of the technology and work that we've done here at MoonDAO, and applying it kind of to this consortium that's backed by the U.S. government, and so that's pretty cool. That's like very big impact in terms of the stuff that we've been doing here, and I guess to have it be recognized at that level is really awesome. And so yeah, we'll continue kind of supporting that, and yeah, we'll be working closely with the Logic Consortium and kind of rolling this out, and so yeah, really excited to see that all come together. They've got a great group out there, and they're a bunch of really amazing companies and people in their community that are similarly minded, and they see a lot of potential and benefit to kind of operating in this sort of transparent on-chain way, and a lot of benefits to kind of like the underlying financial infrastructure and how that might work with autonomous systems on the surface of the moon. So that's really exciting, and yeah, it's cool to see how all that has kind of evolved. So I'll keep everyone in the loop as that kind of keeps moving forward, but just wanted to share a little bit about that work. But yeah, I'll pass it over to you, Ryan.
Cool. Thanks, Pablo. Yeah, super exciting about the DC meeting, and looking forward to what might come out of this Logic group. Yeah, I guess we are missing a couple people. Phil, I think Bob or Christina are here this week. The only one I kind of know some updates on is with Bob and the world's biggest analog. We're working on putting together getting a meeting scheduled with Joss at the world's biggest analog next week, and kind of talking some next steps there. But otherwise, no updates. I think he's still waiting on kind of getting the word out about the application process and some of those procedures there. And then in terms of Mooney to the Moon, no real changes since the lander has landed on the moon. The Firefly Blue Ghost lander is up there. Obviously, it's gone silent, but the pyramid and the lunar bounty lives on. I don't think there's been any major additions to the prize pool there, the lunar bounty, but still super cool to have it up there. But yeah, I guess we got a short one this week, unless anyone wants to hop up for a brief open floor and update anything to the community. We can head on over to Major Tom and chat there a little more informally too about any ideas or proposals or anything else that might be going on. And again, a friendly reminder that we're coming up here on the end of the quarter, just a couple more days left here. So do be sure to submit your contributions. Anything you've done to help grow MoonDAO or help advance our mission is something that you can, share here with the community and get rewarded for in early April as we close up this cycle. I just shared the link again to the forum. yeah, anything between January 1st and basically the end of the month here is eligible for rewards. So please do share. Otherwise, thanks everyone for joining us today. And yeah, we'll see you next week at the same time and same place. Have a happy Thursday and have a great weekend.
Welcome to MoonDAO, a revolutionary governance model and mission-oriented community that's reshaping collaboration in the space industry. Our mission is to create a self-sustaining, self-governing settlement on the Moon to act as a launch point into the cosmos. MoonDAO is governed like a nation, with its own economy, constitution, voting system, treasury, elections, and senate, but internet native, and so without the limitations of geography. In 2022, we sent our first member to space, showcasing our model's capacity for real-world impact. Now, we're implementing key solutions for global collaboration in the space industry. We offer a borderless, permissionless platform that enables everyday people to participate in the future of space development and exploration. Be part of our lunar legacy and join the MoonDAO movement today.